Hey, welcome back to Rob Wright's Shanks Pop Culture. You picked a good one to see for the live show today because we're talking about the wild, unpredictable, and hilarious ride that is Blazing Saddles. Get ready for stories of surprise and facts you may not know about this groundbreaking comedy that redefined satire forever. Coming up. Hey, welcome back to Rob Wright's Shanks Pop Culture. Want to say hi to a bunch of people in the chat. FKHC 2005, Herc 130, 2104 Dogface, and then I think SP4H was in there, Herc 130. Guys, thank you so much for being here. And I want to introduce my panelist for today and co-host, Wes Cagle. How are you today, Wes?
All right, doing good, doing good. Just getting over the post letdown Halloween thing. So this is good. Good to have some fun, some laughing because it's always the space between Thanksgiving and Halloween is always kind of a little downer. So this is good.
Oh yeah. It could be that, especially when you're off your sugar rush.
Yeah.
Lombardi 1969 just jumped in. Hey, Lombardi 1969. And Herc 130 says, Rob, go do that voodoo that you do so well. Yes, great quotes from this movie. So, but yeah, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about the origins and the history of the movie. And as we show slides of the movie, I'm going to tell you about some of the history of the Transcontinental Railroad and a little bit about the westward expansion, which this movie has a little bit of ties to. Now, it's not exactly a historical accurate movie. It's a comedy after all. A comedy that, wow, it just made fun of everybody. They poke fun at all kinds of people. And, we have to really watch it because this one has a little bit of racial undertones, which were done kind of purposely for shock value and for other reasons in this movie. So overall, I think it's one of the funniest movies ever made. But
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And you're right though. I think it gets a little attitude because it makes people people seem to forget they focus on some of the racial aspect, but it makes fun of everybody. And the butt of the jokes are often the town folks who are the most, are the more intolerable people at first. So
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit about Blazing Saddles before we see screenshots of it. Hey, it started as a movie called Tex X, and it was written by Andrew Bergman. Mel Brooks saw its potential and assembled a dream team of comedy writers, including, guess who? Richard Pryor.
Oh, that's right. I did hear this. I do remember hearing that.
Yeah, and Richard Pryor helped with some of the writing for this, and Richard Pryor actually approved a lot of it. Richard Pryor's influence shaped the razor sharp humor and the character Bart, even though he wasn't ultimately cast in the lead role. The problem is that at the time, Richard Pryor's stand-up was a little bit risque, and studio producers were kind of afraid to have him in a major movie. Mm-hmm. And so they wouldn't let Mel Brooks cast him. So it's kind of funny that he still helped out on the project after not being cast. It wasn't like he abandoned everything. He still was one of the writers. But funny story, apparently Mel Brooks's writer's room was so chaotic with laughter that he installed a lock to keep studio executives from interrupting the brainstorming sessions.
Sometimes you got to keep
the suits out. These movies.
Yeah, no. Sometimes you got to keep the suits out because they can interfere. I've ever watched some of the other channels where that do the kind of production hell kind of thing, mm-hmm. And it's always the studio suits meddling. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And with this movie, we obviously probably couldn't get made today with where we are in society today and the sensitivity, but back then they had a hard time making it, getting it past everybody too.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about the cast and characters here. Cleavon Little brought charm and intelligence to Sheriff Bart. I thought he was wonderfully cast. He's just great in this role.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? I know you mentioned that he had brought Richard Pryor in here, but it's great that for the writing aspect, because he is controversial, and if you listen to his acts back then, I mean, you can see it in the writing. But I can't imagine him being Bart. I just he would have been all right, but nah, it wouldn't be the same. Wouldn't be the same. I don't think. I think he would have overshot. He would have, and I know that him and Wilder worked well on a lot of films, afterwards once he got established as a star. But I think he would have he would his presence would have been a little bit too much in this one.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think Cleavon Little was a perfect cast. So Cleavon Little was a classically trained actor, and
Yeah.
he just did a brilliant job in this role. I thought that he landed all his lines and landed all the jokes really well. And you know, Gig Young was supposed to be his sidekick, but he grew ill, and Gene Wilder replaced him. And I thought that was perfect casting as well, because I thought Gene
Oh
Wilder
yeah.
is excellent in this. He's excellent in just about every movie he's in, I think. But yeah, they were perfect, perfect duo. Did you know Madeline Kahn got an Oscar nomination for playing Lily Von Shoup?
Did she really? I
Yeah.
did not know. I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. She's amazing, and she looks gorgeous in this. I mean, she's a hottie.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, the thing about her also is, she's a classically trained actor too, but she also is just a incredible singer.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, her voice is fantastic. I mean, she's beautiful. And then the usual comedy tropes. You got Harvey Korman, Slim Pickens, who is your tie to a lot of classic westerns, and then Dom DeLuise was rounded out the cast. Guess who was offered a cameo but declined it in this movie?
I heard this one. It wasn't John Wayne, was it?
Yeah, it was John
Yes.
Wayne.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, he was offered a cameo and declined. He said, no, it'd be too bad for my image, but I'll be the first in line to see it.
Yes.
But he can't be seen in it. And apparently he saw it and thought it was funny. Also, Madeline Kahn, when she was trying out for it, the way she sang the "I'm Tired" song was so funny that Mel Brooks hired her instantly, and he was laughing uncontrollably. And it became a partnership with her and Mel Brooks for the next 3 films.
Oh yeah.
And then she came back for a couple more. So, yeah, she was just an amazing actress. I think we lost her way too soon.
Yeah.
And Crouching Taylor, Hidden Swift. I want to say Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but Crouching Taylor, Hidden Swift is here. Hey, how you doing? All right, so let's talk about the production a little bit. So it did push the envelope even at that time of what was acceptable in mainstream comedy. Brooks fought fiercely to preserve its biting humor and refused studio pressure to tone down the satire. Interesting note about the campfire bean sing. Do you know anything interesting about that?
I've heard some stories. I know that the again, this is the Suits, that they were like, no way on earth. They thought it was too crass and too crude. But again, like I said, Mel stood his ground. So
Yep, it was the first movie to show and hear gas.
yes. And I remember seeing it on television back in the late 70s, early 80s. That scene is completely different on television. They're just standing up and there's no sound whatsoever. They edited it all out on television.
Yeah. It was infamous for pioneering a new kind of comedy, unapologetically outrageous and human. So not only did you have other kinds of humor, but you had fart jokes that started here and kind of continued and eventually became somewhat acceptable. But Also, did you know that the Rockridge set was so convincing tourists mistook it for a real Western town?
I did not. I did not hear that one.
Yeah, I didn't know that one either. That's kind of funny. It almost makes you kind of laugh at the ending with the backlot and the people touring the Hollywood studios too.
Yep. Yep.
So another interesting take. One of my favorite parts is Brooks being the governor, and he's like, "Harumph, harumph! I didn't get a harumph out of this guy. Give the governor a harumph." Well, that was ad-libbed by Mel Brooks, and he was doing that because he kept asking for retakes of Harvey Korman's harumph line just to make the crew laugh. He was just trying to make the crew laugh. I mean, can you imagine being on the set of a Mel Brooks movie? We talked about this when we did Young Frankenstein, but I can't imagine. I would bust a gut laughing. There's no way I can hold myself back.
Yep. I think when we talked about that with Young Frankenstein, I said it's like trying to do a filming of the Carol Burnett show. They all, somebody's always, and I mean, I know this one didn't have Tim Conway, but he was notorious for doing that, and that's kind of what Mel Brooks is doing there, trying to get them to break character and crack up, to keep them on their in the comedic mind frame. So
yeah. Yeah, speaking of gassiness and stuff, the one comedian who used to be a serious actor, but he turned comedian after Airplane, was Leslie Nielsen, and he always had a fart machine. And so he was always playing those kind of jokes. And apparently, if you watch outtakes of all kinds of movies, you'll see all kinds of jokes that the actors would play on each other with fart jokes and stuff like that. So, it's pretty funny and fun. But guess what? Did you know about the release? You know how this movie was released?
No.
It was actually released in drive-in theaters first.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So basically, Warner Brothers feared backlash big time, and they tested the waters, releasing it in drive-ins. And everyone's surprised it became a word-of-mouth phenomenon, and soon expanded nationwide and became one of the highest-grossing comedies of all time. It was number 2 for 1974, and right behind it was Young Frankenstein. So he had 2 big hits. Mel Brooks did in 1974.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Pretty
awesome.
cool.
Yeah. And you know what? That I think these two solidified his reputation enough so that he had a lot of latitude after that, and it was kind of like all right, we can let the leash off a little bit because this guy is proved. Once you get that status, it's kind of like when Spielberg had his few his run starting with Jaws. Once you get that proven track record, they'll give you latitude. It's kind of like here's more rope. Try not to do yourself in. So
yeah. FKHC 2005 mentions that Governor William Lapatamain Mel Brooks was named after Lapatamain, who was a flatulentist, someone who had a little bit of problem passing gas. That's pretty funny. I didn't know that. And then Herc 130 says, all the laughter by Mel Brooks was killed by a giant shark a little time later. Yep. Jaws knocked out of the park the next year. So another funny thing about this movie is that it breaks the fourth wall, literally. There were several nods at the camera throughout the movie, but in the finale, they shatter the illusion of the cinema itself and break through the Western set and spill into the movie stage. Brooks' meta humor here was ahead of its time, lampooning Hollywood itself while celebrating it. The extras in the massive brawl, guess what they did?
I think they just went along. They went along with the gang. Yeah, they joined in. Yes.
Yep, they improvised so much that Brooks had to call cut in order to rein in the chaos. I mean, can you imagine that?
Hey, when I don't know. There's something contagious about, you're talking in specifically the commissary scene, yes, where yeah. So there's something contagious about a food fight. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm sure something similar happened during the food fight scene in the Animal House. So,
Oh yeah. Oh gosh. Can you imagine that? And that's
yep,
that's a John Landis production that
yep,
those got out of control.
absolutely.
But I say Landis and Brooks were two of the funnier directors in the 70s, especially.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Mm.
just so you know, there's an animal safety issue where Mongo punches the horse. It was a strange stunt horse. The horse wasn't actually harmed.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good thing. But yeah, just in case anybody was wondering on that one. So let me just wrap it up with some quick facts and legacy real quick. After its theatrical expansion, Blazing Saddles grossed over 100 million and earned 3 Academy Award nominations. Over 100 million gross.
Wow.
That's phenomenal for
Yeah.
1974. It later was preserved to the National Film Registry for its cultural and comedic significance. The studio's president's wife reportedly championed the film, convincing Warner Brothers to release it without censoring its sharpest jokes, which is interesting. It's kind of cool. And FKHC 2005 sent a video of the Penny. So that's funny. Let's see. Mel Brooks triple cameo gives this movie its wild energy. Yeah, Mel Brooks has
Yeah.
multiple cameos in this, and I think he's just hilarious
Yep.
in each of those roles. Censors demanded edits Brooke refused to make, cutting only one midline. Gene Wilder and Cleavon Little improvised some of the movie's funniest exchanges. And I'm thinking it's the cigarette part that they probably emphasized more than anything. Frankie Laine thought the title song was serious. He recorded it before the movie came out. His heartfelt delivery made it even funnier. So he thought it was a real Western that he was doing that for in a real serious movie. Like I said, Slim Pickens had starred in several cowboy movies and he brought real experience to the production. And then we mentioned Richard Pryor shaping the film's tone with his writing. And then the final battle parody was inspired by Marx Brothers style mayhem. Yeah. I mean, get your pies for the greatest pie fight.
Yep.
So
You mentioned it grossing a little over 100 million, right?
yep.
I looked up the production cost, $2.6 million. That is a huge profit.
Oh yeah, 97 million in 1974 dollars. I mean, wow.
Yep.
That's huge. So
Yep. And it was the same thing like we mentioned last week with Young Frankenstein, a $2.8 million budget, and it did those kind of numbers as well. So I mean, good. That's again, like I said, that's why he got the latitude he did afterwards. So
oh yeah. I mean, it's just it's awesome. All right, let's get our ugly mugs off of here and let's get into Blazing Saddles, and I'll give some historical content to this as we have the film. Now, guys, unfortunately, some of the shots and the place that I was getting them from, sometimes they had the play button on it. There was no way for me to pause it. So occasionally, sometimes we'll have that play button taking up some of the picture, but I'll do my best. But I love the opening, Blazing Saddles. And here we go with the railroad and just getting into the railroad. So the central conflict of the movie is building the railroad through the frontier. It is based on the westward expansion of the U.S. rail system. And by the 1860s to 1880s, Union Pacific and Central Pacific railroads were racing to connect east and west.
yes,
And thousands of laborers were used, including African Americans, notably Irish people that came over from Ireland, folks that came from China, immigrated and worked under brutal conditions to lay tracks. I mean, these were brutal for everybody because of the heat and the sun, and then also the materials and just the heavy, intense labor. You also have, it doesn't even mention in here in my notes here, but I mean, dynamiting through mountains was treacherous too because you had cave-ins and all kinds of other types of stuff. And man, it just was crazy. The work song scenes and Dusty construction camps in Blazing Saddles parodied those real historical settings. So they really did have camps, and they really were in tents out on the stars, and all that kind of stuff was kind of real, because you had, you see it in some other westerns that have this western expansion on the railroads, and they did have little railroad towns and little strip mine towns to do that. Yeah, Matthew Eagle says dynamite tends to be dangerous. Factor in gravity, you're set up for disaster. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
but when you mentioned the the camps, the construction camps. Well, yeah, that's obvious, because these railroads, some of the stretches were in the middle of nowhere. You're not having these crews, go miles to the nearest town every day after work. So, especially since work was usually probably about 15, 16 hours more. So,
yeah, from dusk till dawn, and then even then some. And think about it, how they would have to ship in the supplies and everything else to folks. I mean, that's got to be hard. But I love where they're trying to get him to sing a worker song, and then he breaks into Frank Sinatra.
Yeah,
it's just hilarious. So
that's the first time I ever heard this song, and I had never heard it anywhere else until DC sang it on one of his streams one time.
Yes. Yeah, I get a kick out of you. And so, the foreman is Slim Pickens. And he's great as Taggart. And then they find quicksand. Now, I'm not sure how prevalent quicksand was out there, but it's interesting. I mean, getting stuck in quicksand is not an easy thing to get out of.
No.
And then
it may not be prevalent in the desert. It's more of a jungle thing, but it's still funny. Yeah. It's still funny.
Yeah, it is. Yep. So the first transcontinental railroad was completed in 1869, joining at Promontory in Utah. So, but
is that where they drove the Golden Spike when they connected the two?
Yeah. Connecting the two. Yep. So the quicksand scene, that was funny. And then he hits him over the head. Tell him I said, ow. And then we see Hedley Lamar. His office has all kinds of funny jokes in here. So
Heddy Lamar.
You see the backs of a married couple in a painting.
Yes. You know what? I've seen this movie, I don't know how many times. This is the first time I've noticed it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hysterical.
And then the goofy statue up here.
Yep.
So it's just kind of funny. And I love Boris is hanging everybody. He hangs, all kinds of people.
This one's a doozy.
Yeah, this was a doozy. And then he hangs the guy and a horse together.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. There, Taggart. It's just a man and his horse being hung.
Yes. So, and Snatch. Just, really? Yeah.
Then he cites a football score.
Yeah.
Yale beats Harvard 7-2 or something.
Yeah, it's something else. United States 0. So
yes.
Matthew Eagle says quicksand does happen on the prairie, actually anywhere prone to flash flooding. It's also prone to eddies of quicksand being left behind. I love this movie and I'm a big fan of the Old West fan. Really, I didn't know that. So I guess if you have an area that had a lot of rain, you could get quicksand. Yep. Burton Gilliam did not want to use that language in the script. He was also, it was against everything he believed. Cleavon had to convince him to do it. Yeah, Burton Gilliam is a good guy, and he's actually, I think he's from this area in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and he's been in a lot of commercials and a lot of minor parts in a lot of movies. So
yeah. Well, you can't see. It took like he said, it took Cleavon and somebody like Richard Pryor being involved in this program to make it, to tell the others it's okay. You need to put this in here. You can't ignore what history was back then, and it's prevalent to the story, because if you don't have the crass language, the vulgarity and the racist language from the townsfolk, there's no arc. There's no arc for these people. They start off as vile, people, the way they treated Bart. You have to have that, they have to start there in order to get where they are at the end. So,
yep, absolutely. All right, and so here's the town right before they rustle it, and you'll notice that Howard Johnson's ice cream parlor, general store, dry goods, boot store.
Johnson. I love the Howard Johnson's. This one flavor, 31 fifth.
Yeah, one flavor.
That is hysterical.
Yeah. And then, the cattle rustling, and interesting. It's like everything has a Johnson to it, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
That's an interesting. And then I love they're singing, "Our town is turning into blank." And then we're going to read from Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Duck.
Yeah, they throw the thing of dynamite into the window. And this is one of my favorite characters in this whole movie, Yabby Hayes.
Yeah, Yabby Hayes. He's hilarious. And then real frontier gibberish. Yeah. I'm glad the kids were here to hear that gibberish. And then they throw in a Richard Nixon joke in here too. Yeah. But this is where Howard Johnson is right.
Yeah, everybody's something Johnson.
Yep. And then we have the governor meeting, and he and his secretary are pretty funny.
Secretary's pretty hot, yeah. Pretty hot, yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty hot. She's pretty good looking. And this is the one line that I mentioned. "I didn't get a harumph out of you. Give the governor a harumph."
Harumph.
And this is where they find out about Rock Ridge as well. And then right before Bart's about to get hung for hitting Taggart, he gets rescued and gets made the sheriff because they think it'll be bad. And he introduces him as the sheriff to the governor and convinces him that, hey, this is a move that might make you president one day. So
yeah, Washington, Jefferson, and Cleavon chimes in, Lincoln.
Yeah, do. And he's sitting at the desk smoking a cigar. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Every time he gets excited, he swings his head back and hits the wall.
Yes.
Oh, God.
That's hilarious. All right, so he's got his horse and everything, and he's got a Gucci bag, which is hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny.
But to give you some information about this, so former slaves did move out west, and black cowboys were actually more common than people know, and that's part of what he wanted to portray in this movie, is that cowboy films up until a lot of your major westerns really didn't have a lot of African American actors, and in reality there were a lot of African American cowboys. So let me tell you something about some of the African American cowboys here. So the film protagonist Bart Cleavon, played by Cleavon Little, being a black cowboy railroad worker, actually is a strong historical grounding. After the Civil War, many former slaves headed west seeking freedom and opportunity. It was estimated that 1 in 4 cowboys in the late 1880s was African American. Matt Engel says Unforgiven was the first Western I saw that had a black dude, an African American in it. Yeah, that and Blazing Saddles. And, but yeah, I mean, the facts were you had 1 in 4 that were African Americans. There are notable real life black cowboys that were in their prime, including Nate Love, who was otherwise known as, I can't say the full name, Deadwood Richard, another name for Richard, a skilled marksman and roper. Bill Pickett, who is actually credited with inventing bull dodging, which is a form of steer wrestling. Oh, the 1993 film Posse showed that also. Yeah, 2104 Dogface does that as well. Yeah. Bass Reeves is actually one of the most notable African-American cowboys. He's one of the first Black U.S. deputy marshals west of the Mississippi, and he's believed to have inspired some of the Lone Ranger. So
very cool.
Mel Brooks said later that Bart's character was meant to flip the typical Western hero archetype, making the hero someone the old Hollywood system never would have allowed. So, yeah. I mean, it's interesting with that. And then I love this. They break the fourth wall right here with the band.
Count Basie, yeah.
That's just awesome. I love that. And then, they're welcoming, all the lines, the sheriff is near, and others. Excuse me while I whip this out. All your lines, and I pretty much said the only clean ones in there.
Yeah.
But just so you know, let's talk a little bit. I'll talk a little bit about how, I've got some notes on how racism was in the Old West, according to historians. So racism was still prevalent, folks. Unfortunately, it's part of our past. It's part of our history. We're getting better and better, I hope, but it did exist. But Blazing Saddle exaggerates racism a little bit for satire, but it reflects a real prejudice African Americans did face when they moved west. It was a little bit different than some of the towns back east where everybody was cramped and close together. African American settlers often, instead of being in the same towns, founded their own towns. So they had their own settlements because there was more room to grow and more room to settle. So places like Nicodemus, Kansas, and Langston, Oklahoma are examples of settlements founded by African Americans, freed slaves who had moved out west for a better life. Western films before the 1970s almost completely ignored these stories. So Brooks used parody to expose how Hollywood pretended they didn't exist. So it's interesting. The character Bart being smarter, cooler, and more competent than the townspeople was Mel Brooks' deliberate inversion of those racist stereotypes. And we see it right here where he kind of tricks them with his own gun and doing that. So, and then he breaks the fourth wall that they're so gullible, But it's still funny. And, that's what the purpose of this movie was to do. It was to take this and satirize it so that people would go, okay, yeah, this is not right. And, we can learn about it and grow from it, in a humorous way, in a satiric way. And sometimes throughout history, it's satire that starts to bring discussions and reality to life because people are being sarcastic to try and prove a point,
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's the way. It's the easiest way to broach difficult topics is to infuse them with humor because it softens the blow. So you can bring these things out. You can have actual conversations about things. So, but the humor is always the icebreaker. It's the great icebreaker. So,
yep. And then Rock Ridge Town Council and this, and it's so funny. I mean, just the FK, TR Johnson, RD Johnson, CF Johnson, just all the Johnsons here.
Yep.
Roger McKean, glad you were able to join us. Son, you're on your own. Glad you're here. But let's just talk a little bit about some of these here towns real quick. Rock Ridge obviously is a fictional town. It's based on dozens of hastily built towns that sprang up near the railroad expansion. So the railroad was big and building up a town near railroad. If you get the railroad to stop in that town, you could use it to really expand, and you could have a lot of different industries come in to get the sales off the railroad. So that's good. It's just interesting how they were set up. But many towns did rely on the railroad for their economy, and if the tracks moved elsewhere, they literally died overnight. So
Oh yeah.
you had that, and then you even saw that in American history when we expanded the highways, and you had like the old cross country routes changed to highways.
Yeah.
And so you had towns that died off because the old routes were not used.
Yep.
That even happened on Route 66 at one point.
66 is a very prevalent one. Yes. All those little towns. It's like if you can still travel the old Route 66 road, and if you go there, you see nothing but ghost towns so dotted along the damn thing. So
yeah. And then some were even company towns owned entirely by the railroad or mining company, like the Krupp system that's mentioned here. So yeah, I mean, a mining town owning that area and trying to bring up everything for their own gain was not uncommon. So it's interesting. It's totally interesting how they did that, and how driving people away for a company to come in and take it is.
Or the worst thing about those company towns is that the workers on the railroad building as it went through, and in the miners too, they had to buy everything from the company. So the company paid them and charged them, because they're only game in town, charged them outrageous fees. So they actually couldn't leave because they were indebted to the company store. And it's just brutal.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
It's almost like indentured slavery. So
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And we get Gene Wilder's appearance as the Waco Kid, and a couple of famous lines here, and he's telling about how he drinks, and I love this. Wow, that hand steady as a rock. Shoot with this hand.
Yeah, shoot with this one. I like when he's sometimes I get a little I mix up my scenes. Did he already do the scene where he says don't you want to have something to eat? He's like, no, food makes me sick. He's like,
Yes.
A man drinks like that and he don't eat, he going to die.
Yes.
When?
Yeah. Yep. And then he find out that he quit being the Waco Kid because somebody said reach for the sky. He turned around, it was a 6-year-old, and he dropped his gun belt and walked away. And the little bastard shot me in the ass. And I headed straight for the bar.
Yeah. That is funny.
That's hilarious. But I like, put your hands next to that king, and then it's like, now when I say go, you reach for it. He didn't have it.
Yeah, he laughed at him. He's like, well, you're way over there. Ain't no way you're gonna get. Yeah. I'm telling you, he does his best Willy Wonka impression there.
Yeah. So Bart tells them about the westward expansion. You had wagon trains, which is factual. Now, I don't think it was too factual. I don't know the specifics about African Americans versus white settlers traveling together or apart. I didn't find anything on that, but I'm not sure that they had anybody alone in a wagon train. But yeah, this part's interesting, but we can't really talk about it because it goes into some.
Well, the funniest scene in this whole thing to me, and it's safe for a stream. It was when the natives attack, and he's like, the white folks wouldn't let us travel in their circles, so we made our own. They're going around in a circle by themselves.
Yep. And the fact that the Native Americans are speaking Yiddish, which is
Yiddish, yes.
Just kind of funny. And Mel Brooks does a good job as the Indian chief. And then this is the infamous scene where they're eating beans. It's funny. it's kind of funny that cowboys sitting around the campfire and stuff, and you see that in other movies, but you don't see the gas or the flatulence. So,
No.
um, and it's funny how Brooks used Blazing Saddles to lampoon the myths of the Old West. Those mythos were rooted in early Hollywood portrayals of history, which is true. Old Westerns ignored minorities, they ignored women, and
Yep.
social complexity. Blazing Saddles mocked the whitewashed version of the West by inserting truth in the middle of absurd comedy, which is true.
Yep. Yep.
So,
And the best line comes at the end of the bean scene, where when
yeah.
Taggart shows up. Hey, Mr. Taggart, would you like to have some beans? I think you boys have had about enough beans.
Yeah, he's waving his hat. It was hilarious. Yeah, I mean it's kind of funny, but yeah. Matthew Eagle says you guys have seen Little Big Man, right? It's got Dustin Hoffman in it, and may have been a Wednesday night topic, but I can't remember. Yeah, I haven't seen Little Big Man, but I've heard of it. So
Yeah, me as well. I've never seen it, but I do know of his existence. So.
yeah. And then he gets Mongo, Mongo is kind of the big bully who's by himself. And Mongo's going to invade riding a cow.
And I love the trucker reference in the back of the bull.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes or no to pass on the, which way to pass for that's what they have on the trucks. Yes or no. Yes.
Yeah.
Safe to pass this side, not the other side.
Yep, that side, not the other. And Mongo knocks out the horse. I didn't show that here because I didn't want YouTube to strike me down. And then Mongo is just having his way with the people, and then Candy Grant for Mongo.
Yeah, we get the Warner Brothers reference here.
Yeah, oh, I love it. It's the Bugs Bunny reference, but Cleavon Little does a great job with this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then it goes back to Hedley Lamar in the bathtub. Where's my Froggy? Froggy Love Daddy. Ribbit. It's just hilarious here.
Hey, he's looking all over the place for it, and Taggart reaches in the tub. He's like, Taggart?
Yes. Yes, SP4H Mongo only pawn in Game of Life. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Matthew Eagle says that Little Big Man is 3 parts funny as hell and 1 part actually sad. Mongo and the Ox is classic. Yep. And here's the townsperson making up for earlier with the pie.
Yep.
And then we get Lily von Stroop. And whoa, look at those legs.
Lily legs.
Yeah, Madeline Cohen. Harvey Korman's like trying to convince her, and she's like, whoa, get off me. What's the job? She sees right through the BS.
Yeah. He goes in for a kiss. She turns. He hits her in the back of the head with his mouth. He's like, chip the tooth.
Yep. And then her infamous song.
Yeah, that's one heck of an outfit.
Oh, yeah. I love the part where she's like, hey, what's your name, cowboy? Tex ma'am. Do you work in show business? No, ma'am. Well, get your feet off the freaking stage.
Yep. And the one guy gets overzealous, tries to come on stage with her.
Oh, you mean this guy?
Yeah, there you go. He handles him right away.
He handles him pretty good. Pretty funny. But yeah, tired. Just the whole song is just hilarious.
Oh yeah,
it's a dirty song too, but
she does such a good job with because she's trying to be sultry and sexy on stage, and half the time she's missing her mark. She goes to lean on a post sexily, and she misses and
oh yeah, it's hilarious. It's total trip. It's funny. And then you've got these guys that come out that are the
Prussian soldiers. Yeah,
the Prussian soldiers. She's tired. And then she has him come to her room, and she changes into this outfit.
Oh, the note she hands him, and Cleavon, the way he reads it in her broken German accent in English. Oh,
Yes.
meet me in my dressing room right after this show.
Yeah, it's almost a takeoff of Barbara Walters.
Yeah.
But yeah, and she talks to Hedley Lamar. I'll have him eating out of my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
It's true. It's true. Is it true what they say? Yeah, it's true. It's kind of like her Frankenstein scene with the glorious life at last I found you.
Yeah. Another Wiener Schnitzel.
Yes. No.
It's like 15 is my limit.
Yes. On Schnitzengruben.
On Schnitzengruben. Yes. What a nice guy. Yeah, it's exactly like the Frankenstein scene. Yep. And then he gets back and finds out that Mongo's getting free to go. And he frees Mongo, and Mongo tells him everything. And this is where we get the famous line, Mongo, only pawn in game of life.
Yeah, that's a good line. It's like so serious for such a dimwit.
Well, and the other thing is he's never been bested before. So
yeah.
He decides to stay with them, which I think is kind of funny and fun. And then they kind of kidnap the beauty here. Yeah, Madeline was such a gem. We lost her way too soon to ovarian cancer. It's just that's awful. But and they come up with the plan to get all the different rogues, and they're going to go get the rogues, and the townspeople decide that they're going to leave, and Bart says, "Hey, give me 24 hours." And then they go to investigate the rogues.
Now, wait! I love when they're like, he's like, just give me 24 hours to come up with a brilliant plan, and they tell him no. He's like, you do it for Randolph Scott.
Randolph Scott.
Yeah, they all get reverent.
Yes, Randolph Scott was actually an early Western, Western hero. So yeah, you do it for Randolph Scott. And so they get all these guys that are coming on, and that I didn't get the full video, but the second guy in the line is that the guy who's chewing gum.
Yeah,
he's like, "Where's he got? Get it? Chewing gum online, eh?" So
yeah, the strict punishment. Man, he's strict.
Yeah, and
then but when they go down the line and you see all the different thugs that they get. It's just you got bikers and the bad guys from World War II and the hooded guys, the ghost guys, and all these. It is just great. It is the dregs of society they got here. All of them.
Yeah. Hey, Matthew Eagle, you're perfect, man. I love it. Guys, feel free to comment if you got any history or any things about this movie that you want to comment in the chat. I'm happy to read those. Yeah, I love it when people tell me things I don't know, because I don't know everything about this.
Oh, yeah.
About history. And, dude, anything that chat wants to contribute is fine by me. I love that.
Oh, yeah. I think the last time with Frankenstein, the chat came up with 2 or 3 things that neither you or me knew.
Yeah. And that's what I love about this. These things are and my channel, it's for the fun. We're here to talk a little bit, give you some facts about the movie, give you a little bit of facts about history, talk about this movie, say some of the lines, go through it, have fun, and we love your participation as an audience. So yeah, come on, tell me. You can even bring some of the funny lines, just keep them clean. We got to keep PG-13 here for YouTube, otherwise they'll kick us off. But
yeah, you just have to use YouTube Speak. That's all you got to do. Yes.
Yeah, use YouTube Speak. But yeah, and then as we get further, they devise a plan to do that, and I skipped slides of the plan. But you see more of these guys that no one here. This is badges. We don't need no stinky badges, which is kind of actually a playoff on another film starring Humphrey Bogart, Treasure of the Sierra Madre, which is some of that. But I love the bikers, and then all the different people from all different parts of the world that are bad guys that
Oh
they
yeah.
have. It's just hilarious in the lineup.
Every stereotype bad guy is in this line.
Yeah. And by the way, when he was making the list of the guys to have, and my aunt and uncle just crack up at this because they are of this, and he goes, and Methodists.
Yeah. Yeah.
My aunt and uncle crack up at that every time. So yeah, and there's another line that I really don't want to say out loud, but was said in the chat a couple times. Where those particular women at, which is kind of funny. And then they go after him and head them off at the pass. I hate that cliche.
I hate that cliche, yeah.
I think it's hilarious. So Bart devises a plan, and he gets the railroad workers here, and they're agreeing the townspeople to build a town like 4 miles away from Rock Ridge, and they tell him, "Hey, we'll take all these groups, but we don't want the Irish." Which is kind of funny because in reality, the Irish came and went west because they, in some parts of the East, were not as accepted either. So,
yep.
It's kind of funny because it has those kind of tropes. And the other funny thing about that is that a lot of Westerns were made by people of Irish descent, which is just kind of funny. It's another poke at the Hollywood system. So that's what that joke is. And it's an inside joke on early Westerns and some of the directors and people. But they make the town, and then they realize that they did a great job with the town, but they forgot to make the people. And so you've got Hedley Lamarr getting all this. I state your name. I state your name.
Yeah, he calls them morons.
Yeah, and then Hedley. That's Hedley. Which the Hedley Lamarr joke was hilarious earlier.
It was played to death in this
before
thing.
You can sue her. With the real actress named Hedley Lamarr. We'll get to that in a minute here. And then they built the Lepain tollway. Does anybody have some dimes?
That is, and it's one of the cleaner lines. I mean, it's got a curse word in it, but it's one of the cleaner lines in the thing. It's my favorite line in the entire film. Is somebody got to go back to town and get a load of dimes?
Yeah. Yeah, and Hedley Lamarr was not amused. Actually, she did threaten to sue them, and they were able to settle out of court. But yeah, we need an S load of dimes. But he gets there, and they break down that thing, and I love he's about to shoot, and the preacher goes, "Oh Lord!" and everybody hits him on the thing and shoot the thing. So anyway, it blows up into this big fight, which is great. A lot of funny scenes in here. And then they totally break the fourth wall. And you've got this scene with the French mistake. It's a musical, and it goes wrong a little bit here before it breaks down. And Dom DeLuise is trying to demonstrate, and he falls back into the water. It's just hilarious. And then they break the fourth wall, and go get him. They start fighting, and it's just hilarious. And I love this. Blank you. I work for Mel Brooks. Not in the face.
Not in the face.
It's bizarre and funny. Yeah, Matthew Eagle. Yeah, it's hilarious. Lombardi in 1969. I'm surprised at work. Easy on the actual swear words. Thanks. Yeah, we need to be easy on that. So, bunch of steam escaping. It's hilarious. And then it stumbles into the cafeteria as the tours go in there, and the guys, "Get your pies for the great pie fight." And they start having a pie fight.
And Hedley he comes out of the bathroom, and they're throwing pies everywhere. So he goes back inside. He comes out. He's got a pie in his face anyway. So.
Yep. Yeah, it's hilarious. The tours have it, and there's Hedley with the pie in his face, and he's like, "Taxi."
Yeah, he's running off. Yeah, they not only do they just break out of their set onto another set and then into the common set, they leave the lot entirely.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. So he gets there and they go to the Grumm's Chinese Theater and hey, look, I'm in Headley Lamar's footsteps. That's Headley. So there's the other joke right there.
Yeah. I'm in a Hedy Lamar shoes.
Yeah. It's just hilarious. He tries to get a student discount and he buys Raisinets and he goes and then he's watching the movie and he sees Bart come up and he's like, S.
It spits out the Raisinets.
Yeah, it's funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. He's like, yes. He was like, okay, we'll fight fist to fist. And, oh, I am armed. And he ducks and shoots
He
him.
pulled out that little Derringer.
Yep. And I can't show the scene where he shoots him because he shoots him in a certain area of a male's part of the body. But that's hilarious.
And
I wonder if they were able to actually see that at the actual Crumbs Chinese Theater. I bet they were,
yeah.
But then the funniest thing is Douglas Fairbanks,
Yes.
who's a famous stuntman. How did he do such great stunts with such little feet?
Little feet.
You know,
yes.
everybody thinks it's John Wayne, but it's not John Wayne. It's actually Douglas Fairbanks. And John Wayne's footprints are shorter because what he did was he didn't have his boots on when he was going to do this. And they said, oh, no, you got to go get boots. And so he borrowed some saddle boots from somebody. And saddle boots that he borrowed didn't have they had the heel cut in. So they cut in the saddle a little bit longer. And that's why the saddle boot prints are there that are for John Wayne that are closer together, that are not like boots that he wore where the foot was wider and the heel was further out. But a lot of people mistake this for John Wayne. It's actually Douglas Fairbanks. But
yeah.
So
no, that's a great scene. He falls, and then he falls into wet cement and kind of imprints himself into it.
Yeah, it's just hilarious. I love it. And then he gives them the line, and it's almost like the Three Amigos, wherever justice is in danger and all this stuff. And then the townspeople just call him out. They go, BS. He's like, okay, you got me.
Yeah. Speaking the truth, it's getting awful hard around here.
Yeah. Even Marion Morrison had bigger feet than that. Yeah, John Wayne did.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. And then he goes back to Gene Wilder. No place special. I'd like to go there. And they go off, riding off in the sunset. They go right down the road and then down to a Cadillac limo.
just out of quote unquote camera shot. They get off the horses. So
it's just perfect for the ending of this movie. So, but yeah, that's all the slides I've got. But I mean, I think it's just hilarious. But yeah, just a funny movie. And I mean, the fact that it has a little bit of historical facts with the railroad and with the westward expansion is kind of interesting too.
absolutely.
But Blazing Saddle changed the face of comedy, mixing slapstick, satire, and fearless honesty. Its creation was wild as its story was told, proving that laughter can challenge, inspire, unite audiences across generations, which, I think it's done that. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. What are your thoughts on Blazing Saddles? What do you guys like? Anything that we left out, Wes, that you want to mention about the movie?
I think we covered almost all the good lines and most of the critical points that the film was trying to make. I think we covered it pretty good. I mean, I cannot stress any more. My favorite character was Gabby Hayes. I love Gabby Hayes, but the two main characters of Gene Wilder and Cleavon Little, those two guys, they make this film. I mean, they absolutely. I mean, everybody else is fantastic as well, but the two of them and the interaction between the two of them is priceless. It's just priceless.
Oh yeah, they're great. I mean, it's just the funny things that they do and kind of the one-liners and the fact that they were able to ad lib a little bit. That Mel Brooks lets them do that on his movies. It's just great.
Oh
I think
yeah.
it's even better.
Yep.
But
That's part of Mel Brooks's genius is the fact that he knows when to kind of let the actors be the actors that they the
mhm.
people that they are, not just the actors that they are. This is who they are in real life. When these actors ad lib, it's their personal lives bleeding into the script. So and you got to know when to let that go, because you get some of actual Hollywood gold when a director will let that happen. So
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And Matthew Eagle, yeah, we did mention Richard Pryor earlier, that he was one of the writers on it, but the studio wouldn't allow them to allow Richard Pryor to star in it because of his stand-up comedy was a little bit racy at the time. So that was part of it. But he did make contributions to the writing script and a little bit of the production. So Herc 130 says, do Wrestler's Rhapsody next. I'll look into that one.
that is a good spoof one as well. It is
Yeah.
funny. It is
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Fun stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, that's it for this show on Blazing Saddles. Let us know what you like in the chat or in the comments of this. I mean, and like and subscribe. I do need the watch hours. Wes Cagle, what have you got coming up this week? Anything, any streams that you're on? Anything you
Well,
want to promote?
again, as usual, the only thing I'm usually regular on is me and Dad Man do something on Wednesday night where we just let the chat kind of lead us, and we start at one place and we end up in some place that's completely unrelated to where we started. So that's the nature of that stream. That's the only place I'm regular, and but I will show up some other place sometimes, like our good friend Theta of the Grid here. He's going to be doing something this evening, starting
Yeah. Oh
around
yeah.
around 9. So his Cosmic Theater, and
That's 8 Central. Yeah.
so I'm going to try to swing by there and hang out with the boys and have a few laughs. So, but that's about it for me. That's about it for me.
Data of the Grid is a good friend and he does a great job. So check out his channel, Data of the Grid. And he's got a live show at 8 o'clock tonight. For me, I'm on Doomcock's show, Pop Culture Breakdown, and you know what the movie of the week is this week, right?
I didn't see yet. No.
Well, it is the 5th of November. So guess what
Oh.
we're doing?
The fantastic.
V for
Oh man.
Vendetta.
Yes.
Yep. So we're
I
doing
love
V
that
for
movie. I
Vendetta.
love that movie. That's a great one.
Yeah. 2104 Dogface says, I just asked to do a history podcast as a guest to talk about King Philip's War in December. Oh, wow. Cool. Yes, definitely. And thanks, Wes Cagle, thank you for putting up Data of the Grids. Yeah, it always helps when a wrench can do that. Thank you for
Yes.
doing that, Wes.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, really cool stuff. So, and then coming up next weekend at 5:30, Heather will be back, and she and I are going to go through episode 5 of the Pacific.
Very cool.
So yeah, definitely. Herc 130, November 5th, 1955. No, it wasn't the 5th. 5th is the red letter date in the history of science, November 5th, 1955, which is the day that Marty goes back in time. The
Yes.
Enchantment Under the Sea dance is actually November 12th. And trust me, it was on this afternoon, and I went to go see it again in the theater, and I have some very interesting Back to the Future trivia that I might just plug in and do a video on if you guys want me to do that. I mean, this is deep dive stuff from watching again on the big screen. So, but yeah, so, and then folks, so next weekend we got the Pacific episode 5, and then the week after that we're going to do the hits in 1975, 76. So Wallace Lang said he missed the show, but we'll have to watch the replay later on. Yes, Wallace Lang, glad you're here for the ending part of it. Hope you get to see the replay of it. And check out some of my other stuff. I've got a video on Dracula that I hope people will watch. We did Young Frankenstein earlier last week, and got all kinds of fun stuff for the end of Halloween. So if you want to continue your Halloween celebration into November, we got some of that. So, but yeah, Wallace Lang, glad you're here. Herc 130, my job is done here. but yeah, we got all kinds of great stuff coming up, folks. Also, with my streams, you can check them out individually, but I do put them into a grouping. So this one will be under my other westerns. So I've got other westerns. So if you like western movies, this one will be mixed in with those. And then the one we did with Young Frankenstein is mixed into my holiday one, which had this holiday for Halloween. I did, for example, I did Teen Wolf, which is not really a horror, but it's kind of a fun werewolf movie. I did a video on Dracula. We did Young Frankenstein. I did The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. So if you like all those are wonderful. Matthew Eagle says, I'm sad I missed the Young Frankenstein stream. I love that movie, like almost all those. Yeah, Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles are probably the two best Mel Brooks movies ever made.
Oh, yeah.
Check out that stream. I mean, it's a lot of fun. And, I know my streams aren't as long as some of the others, but what I like to do is keep them tight and moving so that you guys are entertained and have a lot of fun, and that, you can watch it and pick it up at any time, and that so people can watch it in a replay and not have to spend all day watching it. So,
oh yeah,
but yeah,
absolutely.
You'll find them on my playlist as well. So
yes,
yeah,
go there. I put the link for you can go right to the playlist page right there.
Yeah. So the playlist has everything, and lots of good stuff there. Also, if you like music, we did have our 80s videos on there. Those playlists are fun if you want to throw up some music at any point too. So
oh yeah, I really enjoyed the when you guys were covering the songs of the 80s and stuff. But because that was my era. But I'm enjoying the 70s. The 70s, it's nostalgic for me. I was a little kid, so it's all the songs that I heard on the station my mom used to play all the time. So that's kind of special. So
yeah. And 1976 is coming up in a couple of weeks. That happens to be my birth year, and my birthday is actually tomorrow. So I just gave away my age, but but anyway, 1976. Guess what the album we love is going to be?
76. It's not a Bee Gees album, is it?
No. It's my favorite band, and it came out in December of 1976. It is Hotel California by the Eagles.
Eagles. Okay, yeah, no, good,
yeah.
good
Thank
album.
you, 2104 Dogface. I appreciate that. Happy birthday.
I know everybody knows the title track from that one, but Pretty Maids All in a Row is probably my favorite from there.
Oh yeah, that's a great song. A lot of good songs on there. Wasted Time is beautiful.
Wasted Time's good, yeah. And the reprise of Wasted Time is just very melancholy. Oh yeah, it is awesome, yeah. But Pretty Maids All in a Row, I love specifically the lyrics in that one. I don't know what it is, the beat, the tempo, but I don't know. My favorite song off that album.
Yeah, that's one is sung by Joe Walsh.
Is it? It's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But they did a tour where they did Hotel California, and it got shut down by COVID, and then they came back after COVID and finished it off, and I got to see them when they came back.
Oh wow.
In Dallas. And pardon me, sorry about that. And they did the whole album cover to cover. So they did side one and then side two, and they had an orchestra with them and choir that sang for that album. And then what they did was they did the whole Hotel California album, and then they did all their hits. And it was an amazing concert. Oh yeah, the Eagles are great, and I'm gonna try and go see them probably in probably January, February, when I can get out there.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I was gonna try and go this weekend, but trying to go to Vegas and over Halloween was just not gonna happen.
And I've learned this a long time ago. Don't travel during the holidays. travel well before and be there where you want to be for a holiday, but don't travel during the holiday. It's brutal.
Yeah,
it's always brutal.
Oh yeah. Well, with all the garbage we got going on right now, which we're not going to get into, but yeah, it makes it tough. But they announced dates all the way to like March of next year, so I'm going to try and get up there and see.
Very cool. That's awesome.
Here, good grief, man, that alone would be cool. You know. So.
Yep.
All right, but Anyway, guys, that's all we have for this show. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching on the replay, thank you for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, folks, be sure and make comments. If you want me to do the Back to the Future trivia, it's going to be an extra difficult trivia because some of the things are deep cuts and stuff that I have found in the movie that I think you'll find interesting. So, Matt the Eagle says, my mom and her friends saw the Eagles a couple of years ago. Eagle really is my dad's last name, by the way, which is awesome. And Vince Gill filled in for Glenn Fry. I'm still jealous of that. Yeah, I will say I've seen a couple of times where they've had Vince Gill with them, and Vince Gill does an amazing song. Also, Glenn Fry's son sings a couple of songs too, and both of them do a great job of filling in for Glenn. I still miss Glenn Fry. I fortunately got to see him when History of the Eagles came through in tour, so I got to see him one last time before he passed away, but that was tragic too. So
yeah. Well, we're getting to that age where the Lord stops giving us stuff and starts taking stuff away, including all the icons in our lives. So
yeah, Matthew Eagle says his son was supposed to be at the concert and sing as well, but he was sick. Yeah, his son got ill and had to drop out of a few of their concerts for a month or two because he was recovering from an illness. So, but Vince is so great, and Vince does a great job of singing the songs as well. They picked the perfect guy to fill in. So, all right, folks. Well, that does it for our show today. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks so much for watching this on the replay. If you're watching the replay, and we'll see you guys on the next one. And here's my outro.